Hey, Dr. Penny. I'm Jared Harris, and I'm doing my presentation on the evolution of the coin. Okay, so in the U.S., the first coin was brought to us on March 1st, 1793, and the materials used to make the coins were copper, silver, and gold. Starting from least to highest value, the least valued coin was a copper coin, and they were called half cent and a cent. The next was the middle range, and it was silver, and it would be a half dime, a quarter, half dollar, and silver dollar. And the highest valued coin was gold, and it was called a quarter eagle, which would be worth 2,050 cents in today's time. And they had a half eagle, which would be $5 worth, and an eagle, which would be $10 worth today. Most of these coins have been discontinued due to rust and people losing them, and people just hang on to them as for antiques. Making a coin would be, well, back then it was very hard because it came with a lot of challenges. One particular challenge was the circulation of copper, gold, and silver. According to usmint.gov, there was not enough copper coins in circulation due to the mint production and the rising of copper. What this is saying is there wasn't enough elements to actually make the coin, actually make enough of the coins, because when they made the coins, they would distribute them, and people would need more money. And which saying, if some people would go off to a gold mine and try to find gold, and they would come back with no gold, copper, silver, or whatever they were mining, they just couldn't make any more coins because they didn't have the resources. So in 1857, the government decided to cut down on copper and not have the half cent, and they would just make the cent, which would be smaller in size than the half cent was. And just recently in the news, there's been conversation regarding about getting rid of the penny today. By eliminating the penny, it would bring up lots of concerns, and the reason they want to get rid of it because nobody actually cares for it anymore. They just use like dimes and quarters, because if you're just walking on the side of the street or walking back from a grocery store and you see a penny on the ground, most people wouldn't pick it up, they just leave it. But if they saw a quarter on the ground, they would most likely pick it up. According to thebalance.com, the penny is as inconvenient, but not as inconvenient as a dime or a quarter. If we got rid of the penny, we would not use any more copper, because the only reason we would use copper was mostly in our pennies. Producing a coin was still a process, but now it's a one-step process because we have producing a mint. A mint is a place where coins of a country are manufactured under a government authority. Basically, the mint is where they make the money, like all the $50 bills, the $100 bills, the $1 bills, $10 bills. And there's a Netflix series called Money Heist, where these 8 people, they go to the Royal Mint of Spain, which was the biggest mint in Europe or wherever it is, and they stay in there for 8 days, and they make $2.3 billion, well, euros, and they just get it for themselves because they weren't stealing it from anybody, because they made their own money. So yeah, that's a mint. But the coins are put in circulation after they are made or produced, which gives the coins a distinct making for identification. The identification is for America, it always says, like the quarter, it says United States on it. And so let's say in Europe or in France, it'd be like property of property of French euros, property of European euros. In the earlier days, before the mint, the coin production was marked and used for engraving by a hammer, which took very long, and so people couldn't get their money as quick as they wanted to. Today, the coins are minted by machines, which is a much faster way of producing currency. The first coin was minted in Philadelphia. Coins are useful in today's world because it makes many possibilities for someone to pay for something, because it's good, like, for people to actually be carrying cash or coins in their pocket. Let's get away from debit cards and like just handing debit card and swiping, because it's actually good to pay cash for some things. And in today's society, we're moving away from the physical part of paying for things like cash and stuff. And today we're just moving more and more to just swiping the card and taking it from our account and writing checks and PayPal, Cash Apps, and stuff like that. And yeah, that's my presentation on the evolution of the coin.